Good morning, athletes. Thank you for joining me. Happy Friday. Today we'll start on our hands and knees and go right into the cat back stretch. So I'm going to turn to the side, my hands right under my shoulders, lengthening my spine the best that I can. So if you feel like you're really tucking the tailbone under, try to release, point the tailbone straight back, and just create a small little arch in your lower back. Stabilize there for a moment. Now when you're ready, start to round your back up, look towards your legs. Lower your head so the back of your neck's lengthened, and then slowly go through neutral and extend. Let's do that again. Exhale as we round. Inhale as we extend. So keep going at a pace that's comfortable for you. You can go really slow. You can pick up the pace. It really doesn't matter as long as you're focusing on the right form, getting the most out of the stretch. And we're really just trying to loosen up the muscles around our back and core muscles and spine to get ready for the class. Let's do one more. Big exhale right here. Inhale, extend. And then find that neutral position. Look down at the mat. Bring your legs together and sit back in a child pose stretch. We're not going to hold this too long at the beginning of the class. Maybe 8 seconds longer. Holds. And then come back up onto your hands and knees. All right, bring your toes to the mat. We're gonna walk our hands back to a low squat. Try to get comfortable with squatting like this, getting the glutes close to your heels and your heels are lifted. We're gonna take it to a standing position. So lengthen your legs, take a deep breath in, and then exhale, round it up. We'll just spend a few minutes standing, then we'll take it right back down onto our mat. So from here, we're gonna go into a balance exercise. I'll turn and face you, my hands on my waist. But before we begin with the balance exercise, let's go into alternating knees, standing up really tall. So one of the benefits of Pilates to help with sports is alignment, really focusing on where your body's at in each move and strengthening those posterior muscles, also keeping them very flexible so you can move well. We'll go into some rotation exercises today. All sports, I can't think of any sports where you don't rotate, so we'll work on that. And let's do 4 more. And 3, and 2, and 1. Okay, this next move, relax your arms for a moment. Then we're gonna bring our hands back to our waist, try to drop your shoulders down. We're gonna lift one leg up in front. Balancing in this position, you could do a low knee or a high knee. Just keep your hips even, abs engaged, little arch in your back. And this area is very important that you keep the shoulders down and back the best that you can. If you need to drop your arms, feel free to drop. All right, let's switch. We're gonna balance on the other leg, keeping this leg as straight as possible. Press a little into the big toe area. That might help. Hold it, good. And release. Okay, we're gonna add on. So switch legs again. Lift as the hip sinks down. Raise the opposite arm, holding it right here. We're gonna press up, shoulder press. Exhale, inhale. Now if you have a light weight, feel free to add that weight. Good. 10 more, excuse me. And 9. And 8, looking straight ahead, and 4, and 2, and 1, and release. Feel it in the standing leg, maybe a little in the shoulder, and now we're gonna switch. Lengthen this leg, press a little into the big toe, lift your knee up as the hip sinks down, other arm out. When you're ready, press, good. Now we're also trying to keep our shoulders nice and even. Pull the abdominals in and breathe. Exhale, inhale, 10 more. 9, you got it. 8, 7, balance important for all movement, everyday health and movement, but also to help with your sport. 2 more. And 1, and release. Let's go into squats, legs hip distance apart. Reach forward, sit back, stand up nice and tall. The important piece of the squat is to be able to hinge, to be able to sit back. Sometimes there can be tightness in the knee, ankle, or hip area that makes squats really challenging. If that's the case, start off with little mini squats. Sit back just a little, come up tall. Hinge here, bend your knees, shifting your weight to the center of your feet or a little towards your heels. Good. Just don't send your knees forward. They are gonna go forward a little bit, but we don't want them past your toes. 4 more. Inhale, exhale. 3, and 2, and 1. Okay, 1 more balance exercise. Stand the arms out, lift your leg, little side kicks. Get comfortable with keeping your leg turned in so the Top of your legs facing forward, top of your foot's forward. Good, that's it. And 8, 7, 6, 5, shoulders down, and 3, and 2. Step over to the other side, rest your arms for a moment, lift your arms without lifting your shoulders. We'll get used to working those lats, keeping the shoulders in place. Lift your other leg and kick, side kick. You might notice one side a little harder than the other, but that's what's so great about unilateral exercises. We strengthen both sides nice and even. And 8, 7, 6, 5, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, one more standing exercise. Legs hip distance apart. Let's do Pilates roll down. Chin first, roll it down to where you're comfortable. I like to keep my legs straight for the roll down because I like to feel the stretch in the back of my legs, but it's up to you. You can bend your legs if you'd like. We're flexing the spine. Getting comfortable with relaxing your arms, and just make sure as you roll down, the back of your neck's lengthened. So you're looking towards the back of your room. Try not to hold your head up, extending your neck. One more. Inhale, exhale down. Inhale, exhale up. All right, let's take it to the back of our mat. We're going to take it all the way down. Start with your legs apart. Lengthen your arms in a nice straight line from your fingers to your feet. Round your back, hands to the mat. Walk out to a plank. Hold this plank position. Lower your hips. Modification, knees down. Stay right here. Breathe. Perfect alignment. So keeping your eyes straight down. Back of your head reaching up. Abdominals to the ceiling. 4 more seconds. 3, 2, 1, and lower your knees. Let's sit back on our heels and do one exercise here. Then we're going to go to an exercise called the snake. Reaching your arms forward. We're just working our upper body, focusing on alignment. So we want to look straight ahead, keeping our head directly over our body. Chin up really helps with that. And we're pulling back with our arms bent. And just think of working the upper back, shoulders, arms, abdominals pulled in and up. 4 more, and 3, and 2, and 1. Reach your arms forward. Now one arm up for shoulder mobility, one arm down to your side, and then switch. Keeping your body steady. Arms nice and straight. And 6, good. And 5, you got it. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, relax your arms. All right, the next exercise, a little challenging. Hands on the mat, legs lengthened, hip distance apart. Right away, we're going to go into a downward dog stretch. So we're going to lift our hips to the ceiling, our head lowers between our arms. Now we're going to lower our body and go into extension without lowering all the way to the mat. Bring it back to neutral, drop your knees, take a little rest. Roll your hands around. So if at any point you need a little break, so we're going to add on, feel free to take a break. Hands down on the mat, hip distance apart, downward dog stretch. Hips to the ceiling, lower your heels, come into an extension, high extension, lower your hips. Okay, adding on. All we're gonna do is lift to neutral, turn to the side and sit. Good, repeat from the top. So back to a plank position, hips up. We're gonna do the same side a few times. Lower your body, go into extension right here, abs to the ceiling. Lift back to neutral, sit to the side. And this can be a nice stretch to keep your body long, lift your side body. Again, back to a downward dog position, hips up, lower your heels, drop your head, slowly go into extension. Be careful here, don't compress the lower back, so you really have to pull the abs in. Back to neutral, sit to the side. Let's do one more time. If you need a break for this wrist, circle your hands around. When you're ready, come back. Plank. Hips up. Inhale, extension. Exhale, hold. Lift on the inhale. Exhale, sit to your side, up nice and tall. Good. Okay, now we're going to switch sides. All right, so we'll start. I just want to face you. You can start in the seated position, and then let's take it to the plank. Hold it right here like we did earlier. We'll take a little break from here. So perfect alignment, straight line from your head to your heels. Now lower your knees, sit back, and circle your hands around. Good. All right, hands back down. Let's add on. Stretch your legs out right into downward dog. Hips up, heels lower, straight back. Come all the way down through into a little extension, looking past your mat. Lift your hips back up to neutral. Turn to the side and sit. Good. Let's repeat. Back to a plank. Hips up to the ceiling. Lower your heels. Come back down and a little lower with your hips, keeping your knees off the mat. Back to neutral. Turn to the side slowly, control and sit. These control moves that flow really help all athletes with their sport. Back into downward dog stretch. Abs engaged the entire time. Go to a plank, a little further into extension. Hold shoulders away from your ears. Lift your hips back up. Place your hips down. And when you sit, lots of length in your spine. Try not to sink. Lift. Good. Back to plank. Forget the name of it. Downward dog stretch. Lower your heels. Come forward. Lower your hips. Open up the chest. Shoulders away from your ears. Back to neutral. And sit. We only have one more. Good. Lengthen your body. Downward dog stretch. Feel free to move your feet and adjust your feet. Come back to plank. Extend your body. Lift your hips to neutral and sit. Wonderful job. Not easy to do. Let's take it now to a seated position. Give our wrist a little break, but work our upper body. Sit up tall. If you can't in this position, that's okay. Just change up your legs, any position that's comfortable for you. Okay, arms reach and just circle your hands around. Good. Now let's focus on the lats. We're really gonna engage those lats to keep our shoulders in place. This muscle here, glutes, every muscle in your body is important for sports, but these muscles here that can get neglected are really important for all sports. Let's circle our hands the other way. Good. And just reach. Now let's just do little pulses. I'm gonna go to a kneeling position now. Sometimes my back gets a little tired when I sit with my legs crossed, so I prefer sitting like this. So we want that length from our head to our tailbone. In this seated position, we're pulling our abs in, but we keep breathing. Now the lats, we want to feel this muscle under our arm always working. You won't feel the burn like you do in your quads, and some muscles are long-lasting muscles. We just don't feel that burn. But if your shoulders are down, you're probably using this muscle. Good. 8, 7, 6, and 5. Keep going. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it up. Flip your palms. Slow bicep curls so we can focus on the joint. Opening up the joint as well as working those lats, keeping our shoulders down. If you find that you're here and you're a little forward, it might take time to get to the position where you can lengthen from your ear to your shoulder and really use those back muscles. You can imagine when you're swinging a tennis racket or really any sport, if you're all in the neck, you're not going to get as much power in the move that you're doing or the hit of the ball, or if you're not using the lats involved in movement. 4 more. Good. And 3, and 2, and 1. Now open up your arm all the way. Important piece. We want to strengthen our body, full range of motion. We don't want to stop short. Open all the way. Flip your palms again. Let's finish with circles. Now we want to try to keep our arms straight. Maybe you think your arms are straight. Take a look at them and really try to lengthen them. Use the back of your arms to help straighten them completely. Our shoulders are still down. Good. All right, go the other way. Let's make the circle a little bigger. You got it. And 8, 7, 6, and 5. Nice job. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold your arms up and float them down. All right, let's bring our legs out in front to a V. Reach your arms straight ahead. Sit up as tall as you can. We want to work a little bit on the back of our legs. We're going to hinge forward, come up tall without really a bounce. We're just leaning into this. Reach, come up. Right now, my toes are pointed. Exhale. Inhale. Now flex your feet. Go easy. What a difference when you point your toes up towards the ceiling. I'm just going to back up a little bit. Good. And reach. Now take a look at your legs. Point your toes and knees straight up towards the ceiling. If they're turned in or they're turned out, try to straighten that out. If it's not comfortable for you, just go back to a position that's comfortable. And over time, we want to keep our legs up towards the ceiling in this stretch. 1 more. and up. Cross your legs. Let's go into lateral flexion. One arm reaching up over to the side. Side bend. We're gonna work the lats. We wanna stretch the lats as well. Come back up and over to the other side. Good. Take it to the center. Now I'm gonna turn to the side because in just a minute we're gonna roll down to the mat. But right now let's start in a seated tall position. Plenty of room behind you to roll down. Hold your hamstrings. Holding your hamstrings, make sure you're not here. Slide those shoulders down again. Really try to lengthen. Now a tricky move to get into is keep your back still, your lower back, and arch from the mid back up. Very challenging. A lot of times people will lean back to arch. See if you can stay up tall. There can be tightness that will prevent you from getting into that position, but we'll work on that. The extension is so important. The end of a golf swing, you're in rotation and a little extension. Let's bring it back to neutral. Lengthen your legs, bring them together. Let's do a roll down. Looking at your legs, curve over your legs. Now start to roll back. Every muscle in your legs contracted, take it down slow, and then arms reach up. Now from here, if you can keep your legs straight and lower one arm to the mat by your ear, one arm to your side, and then switch. Try to keep your body really steady. The back of your rib cage on the mat. Looking up at the ceiling, and I'll go over that in just a second. We want to make sure our neck's nice and comfortable. Inhale, arms up, exhale, lower. If you find that you're looking towards the back of the room, try to put something under your head for a little height, and that way your neck's comfortable and we can really work on shoulder mobility. 2 more, and 1 more. Lift both arms up and then lower them to your side. Bend your legs in, keep them close together, lower them to one side. We're gonna go into that abdominal work, core strength, which every movement comes from the core because we want a strong core. Lift our legs up and over to the other side. This is that rotation I was talking about, that we want to feel comfortable in rotation, and this usually feels good because we can get really tight in that move. So bring your legs back up, feet hip distance apart. Relax your toes on the mat, point your knees and toes straight ahead. All right, we're going to begin by lowering our chin a little, so we start to look over our legs, and then curl it up. In this position, try to get the abdominals to pull in, sink down, and from the lower abs pulling up. Good. Hold it right here and breathe. Keep your arms straight. Take an inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth, and try not to roll down. 2 more deep breaths. 1 more. On your next inhale, roll down. Now, take your hands behind your head, lower your elbows just to get a nice stretch in the shoulders and chest. Hold it for a moment. Lift your elbows to side view and curl it up. Now, let's do little pulses here. Excuse me. We want to get comfortable with, again, pulling the abs into the center, down towards the mat, and not pushing, especially the lower abs up. But sometimes that can be really challenging. So we can really use the breath to help pull the abdominals closer to our spine. So we exhale up, exhale up, exhale up. 4 more. And 3, and 2, and 1, and roll it down. Now from here, lift your legs to tabletop and bring them close together, holding your knees a little over your body rather than here to start. Pull your knees in and keep your back connected to the mat. Elbows to side view, curl it up, looking over your knees in this position. Hold it right here and pulse it up. Think of bringing your chest closer to your knees. Breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in. If you're feeling it mainly in the quads and hips, drop your heels. See if it makes a difference. If it doesn't, you can bring your feet back to the floor, or if you have a chair, you can place your heels on the chair. And 8, and 7, and 6, and 5, 3, 2, now hold it up. Hold the back of your legs now. Let's go into scissors. Lengthen your legs, lower one towards the floor, grab your calf. Now slowly switch, slow controlled moves. If your neck's getting tired, rest your head back, but keep your legs moving. This is a great move because it helps loosen up the back of your legs, also works the core muscles, very challenging. 4 more, exhale, and 3, and 2, and 1. Inhale, both legs up, exhale, bend. Let's rock it, roll it all the way up. Come up to a seated position, sit up really tall, back to abs. We're gonna lean back, hold our hamstrings to begin, lift your heels up. So we're trying to create this C curve in our body. From here, we're gonna release and hold it right here. Good, breathe. If that's not comfortable for you, you can continue to hold your hamstrings. Now from here, we're going to reach our arms up to the sky and lengthen our legs out. Modification, 1 foot on the mat like this. So if you're okay with stretching your arms and legs and bringing it back, great. If not, 1 foot down and in. Now the goal here is to really scoop the abs and in. Strong core, strong body. Again, modification, 1 foot down, or you can stay right here and balance and just focus on the breath, focus on perfect alignment. 4 more. And 3. Good. And 2. You got it. And 1. Hold those hamstrings. Sit up tall. Place your hands behind your back and extend your back. It always feels so nice after a move like that to lengthen and then extend and bring it back to the center. 1 more exercise in that same position. Hold the hamstrings. All right, now we're gonna hold our arms in and we're gonna stretch our legs out, reach 1 arm out to the side, 1 arm towards the ceiling, pull it back in. Again, modification, you can keep 1 foot down. You can also stay right here. Let's go the other way. Reach and in, switch, reach and in. I know this is intense. 6 more. Exhale, if you feel it in your lower back, please do a modification. Keep 1 foot down. 4 more. And 3, and 2, and 1. Hold those hamstrings, cross your legs, lengthen your back, hands behind, and extend your spine. All right, let's do a roll down, take it all the way down again. Legs out, curve into spine stretch forward. Start to roll back, tuck the tailbone, and roll it down. All right, bend your legs in. Lengthen your arms out to the side and lower them to the side. Again, let's give our back a little break. Hold. Lift your legs up and over to the other side. Good. And lift your legs up. Okay, now from here, arms to your side, we're gonna lift our legs to tabletop. We're gonna keep our heels connected and point our knees out into frog stretch. Press your back into the mat. We're gonna lengthen our legs, point our feet, keep your back connected to the mat, come back in. If you'd like, you can place your thumbs under the tailbone, which tends to make a big difference if you're one that feels it in your lower back, and then come back in. So my fingers are sort of in a diamond shape, and I'm gonna exhale, reach, inhale. 4 more, exhale, reach, so my legs are laterally rotated. 2 more, 1 more. Pull your legs in, hug your knees, and rock side to side. Okay, for 2 minutes, we're gonna try to continue with flow, go from exercise to exercise for core strength. Place 1 foot down, the other leg to tabletop, hands behind your head, curl it up. We're gonna open up, lower your body, lower your leg, come back up. We're gonna do 8 with this leg, 8 with the other leg. Inhale, exhale, you got it. Inhale, exhale, bringing your knee closer to your chest. Chin stays away from your chest, even in that lifted position. Okay, 1 more. Switch legs, other leg out, bring it in and open. Exhale, inhale. Now when I lift up, I bring my elbows a little higher just for comfort for my shoulders and arms. 2 more. 1 more. Okay, we're gonna keep moving. Legs to tabletop. Curl your head and shoulders up. Single leg stretch. Keep your lower back on the mat. Don't let it lift. 1 leg reaches out, then switch and switch. Remember, holding that tennis ball between your chin and your chest. We want to avoid bringing our head up or compressing our neck too much. 4 more. 3, 2. Okay, right into oblique. Turn towards the bent leg. Good. Lift, lift, lift. Turn the other way. So try not to lean to the side like this for obliques. Think of lifting and rotating. It's much harder. Lift, rotate. Elbow to the inside of your knee. 8, 7. Keep going. 6 and 5, you got it, and 3, and 2, and 1. Inhale everything and exhale, release your upper body. Arms go up, pressing your back into the mat. Lower your left leg, right arm, don't lift your back. Lift, switch, left arm, right leg. Pull it back up. Modification, you can always keep one foot on the mat and work on one side, maybe do 4 or 5, and then you can switch. But if you're okay here, keep it going. Opposite leg to arm. Focus on the breath. Breathing, we don't want that shallow breathing. We want to really breathe when we exercise. It's good for our body, good for movement. Sometimes if you hold your breath, it can restrict movement. Let's do 4 more. 2 more. 1 more. Okay, 1 more intense exercise. Then we'll give our abs a little break. Curl it up. Bend your elbows to your side. Double leg stretch. Lengthen into a banana shape. Circle your arms wide, knees come back in. Repeat. Modification here. And around. Both legs up if you're doing okay. And around. 6 more. Exhale. Good. Use the exhale right here. 5. Strong body. 3. Work on strength. Work on flexibility. It's one of the benefits that helps with sports. 2 of the benefits. 1 more. And lower down. Hug your knees. Stay right here. Lower your feet down to the mat. Hold it here for a moment. We're going to go into pelvic rock. Arms relaxed by your side. Tuck the tailbone and bring your lower back to the mat without lifting your hips up off the mat. Now go the other way. Lift your lower back. Anterior tilt of the pelvis. Posterior tilt, lower back squishes into the mat. Lift your lower back and just keep this pelvic rock a smooth transition from anterior to posterior tilt. Getting a little movement in the lower spine and hips. 2 more. 1 more. And bring it to a neutral position. The goal is to spend most of our day in this nice neutral position where you would be able to balance a glass of water on the lower abs. Maybe a little lift here. Hold it for a few seconds. Good. All right, let's take it all the way up. Hold the back of your legs. Roll it up. Cross your legs. We're going to take it onto our hands and knees again to the center of our mat. Legs are close, hands on your shoulders, and try to get into neutral. I know it's tough to feel. You might be a little rounded. If you are, you're going to try to reach the glutes straight back. Now from here, lift the right arm, left leg, lower down. Lift your left arm, right leg, lower down. We're going to spend about 5 minutes really working those posterior muscles. We can lose that connection or get very tight in the posterior muscles, lose our flexibility if you do a lot of what we all do, sitting at computers and driving in cars and always doing everything in front of us. So it's good to get those back muscles awake and working hard again, just like the front muscles. 4 more. And 3. And 2. And 1. All right away, let's take it to a push-up position. Hands wider, angle your fingers in, lengthen your legs. When you're ready, lower your body all the way to the mat. Once you're down, relax your toes, slide your hands a little higher until your elbows drop to the mat. Push up into mini extension to start. Hold it here, perfect form. Our lats are engaged again. If they're not, you'll be here. If they're engaged, you'll be here. And lower down. Let's do that again. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Now, as you push away from the mat, the abdominals come up with you, so they're hugging the spine, you're just in extension. And that's a good contraction to get comfortable with doing. When you arch your back or you rotate, still engage in those abdominals, pulling them in, not pushing them out. Okay, 1 more. Inhale away, exhale. All right, from here, so legs and hip distance apart, stretch your arms out. Let's go into swimming prep to start. Lift your right arm, left leg, lower down. Lift your left arm, right leg, lower down. And we're just alternating. Might seem like an easy move, but if you really concentrate on form, and I'll go over that, it can get pretty challenging. So we want our arms as straight as possible. It's easier to bend them, but If you want this as challenging as possible, try to keep them straight. But not just straight arms, we want our shoulders in place. We don't want our straight arm to cause our shoulder to come up by our ear, hugging our ear. We want to keep the lats really contracted. Now our eyes are looking down, and we want our neck always aligned with the rest of our body. So if your head's aligned with the rest of your body and your neck is, when you lift your arm and leg, you're naturally going to lift your head a little higher. Now the glutes are really contracted when you lift, your legs are really straight, your abdominals are being used as a strong platform for your spine. Lift. And the last piece is try not to rotate when you lift your arm and leg. 4 more. And 3. If you've been doing this for a while, it might be getting easier, which is great. 1 more. All right, from here, bend your arms down, looking down at the mat. Lift both legs and hold. So I'm lifting my legs from my knee down. So a little of my quadriceps lifted, my knee, my legs are straight, and then lower down. All right, lift your upper body and legs. Stay right here. Hold it and breathe. Strong posterior muscles, working on stability. Lower down. All right, lift again. Now we're going to add a little movement. So right here, we're going to pulse it up and up and up. Tiny move. Don't feel like you have to go high. It gets so uncomfortable. Lift a little. Lift. Think of length in your body. 8 more. 8, 7, 6, 5, and 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Okay, another exercise here. This one's a little trickier. So we're going to turn our head. If you can bring it all the way down. I know not everyone's comfortable resting their head down, so you can hold it up a little if you'd like. We're eventually going to turn our head side to side. Bring your hands together behind your back. Another tricky move if you have tightness in the shoulders, so be careful. All right, bring your legs together. We're going to bend our legs, and we're going to pulse our legs 3 times towards our glutes. And on the last one, we're going to straighten, lift our body, look at our mat, lift your straight arms. You're going to really feel the stretch in your chest and shoulders. Repeat on the other side. 3, 2, 1. Lift. Our legs are close. Our hands are together. Looking down at the mat here. And switch. 3, 2. You got it. 1. Lift, lift, lift. Open up the chest the best you can. Switch sides. 3, 2, 1. Lengthen your legs. Reach your hands down towards your feet. Hold and switch. Breathe. Exhale. Inhale. Switch sides. Inhale. All right, just 2 more. I know this is a hard one. 3, 2, 1. Lift, lift, lift. And 3, 2, 1. Lift. And slowly release. All right, what feels so great is hands on the mat. Push off and go into a child pose stretch. Slowly sit back. Lengthen your arms. Lower your head between your arms. Stay right here and take deep breaths, expanding the rib cage with your breath. As you inhale, exhale. Stay here just a little bit longer. All right, on your next exhale, sit back on your heels, round your spine up. Let's work a little bit of upper body. So we're going to take our hands to the mat, check the time, and we're going to lengthen one leg out. So we're going to do 8 kicks and then a tricep move. So your hands are fairly close to your body. 4 more. 3, 2. Now hold your legs still and a tricep exercise where you bend and straighten your arms with your elbows hugging your side. 8 kicks. 7, 6, 5. So working lower body and upper body. 2, hold your legs still. Lower your chest to the mat. Press back up. Again. 8, 7. You got it. 6, 5. 3, 2, hold your leg, tricep. Okay, one more time. 8, 7, 6, you got it. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, last one. Now let's switch. If you need a break, circle your hands around. It makes a big difference. Hands back down. Send your other leg straight back. Try not to rotate. Hips stay even. Kick. 7, 6, 5. You got it. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, right here. Elbows point straight back. Press up. Very challenging, but you'll feel it in the back of your arms. And 4, 3, 2, hold it. Now when you do the kicks again, steady lower back. So try not to arch, a lot of movement in the lower back stays still. Tricep. Okay, one more. 8, 7, 6, 5, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down and press up. Sit back. One more exercise for upper body. Shake your arms out. Push-ups. Hands wide, ankle in, so when you bend, your elbows reach out. You can keep your knees on the mat. Maybe start right here. And then, if you'd like, lift your legs. Very challenging. Push-ups are hard to do. Now, just make sure your head doesn't go down. Leaving space between your shoulder blades. When you lower your body, reach your elbows wide, press back up. Let's do 8. Inhale, exhale. 6. Whew, my arms are dying. 4 more. Let's see if I can do it. 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Hold it up right here and walk your hands back. All right, shake your arms out. Let's take it back down onto our back. So I'm going to turn. Let's do a roll down. Sit up tall for this roll down first, looking straight ahead. Now start to curve into a C curve and all the way down. Bend your legs in, lower your arms. One more exercise before we stretch. Bridge. Legs are fairly close, they're not turned out. Tuck the tailbone and lift your hips all the way up. Hold it right here. If you use something under your head for comfort, maybe move it out of the way for this exercise. Now let's just do little pulses up. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Relaxing your arms and shoulders. So another benefit of Pilates is getting comfortable with when you're working a certain part of your body. You're working and putting all that energy into that area, and we're trying to keep the rest of your body that you're not really using for the exercise relaxed. You'd be surprised how often you tighten up another area even though you're working a lower body. So right now, just think about your arms nice and heavy on the mat. Your neck as relaxed as possible. There might be a little contraction in the upper body, but not a strong contraction, because there's really no reason. Our upper bodies has a little weight on it because we're lifting, we're on our upper back. So again, might be a little contracted, but we don't want to tense up our shoulders and neck. Using all the energy to work the glutes, work the quads, open the hips, little engagement here. 8, 7, 6, 5, and 4, 3, 2, hold it up. Walk your feet in nice and close. Let's finish with a march. So that hinge move, important for athletes to get comfortable with a hinge without dragging the glutes and pelvis with that movement. So if you stabilize the hips, stabilize everything here, and lift your leg, the glutes really shouldn't change. And if you think of lifting your knee up, but the glutes reach in the opposite direction, sometimes that helps. 4 more, and 3, and 2, and 1. Okay, nice and slow, lower your hips to the mat. Legs together, lower them to one side. So now we'll go through stretching. As you know, flexibility is so important for just overall health, but also for sports. We don't want tight muscles preventing us from performance, our best performance in sports and everyday life moves. Let's bring our legs up and over to the other side. This is that rotation. We'll do a few stretches for rotation. And lift your legs back up. Let's stretch the back of our legs. Hold onto your shin. Pull the leg in nice and close. Slowly send the bottom leg out, and just think about your lower spine and pelvis going into more of a neutral position rather than really tucked here like this. So again, releasing the shoulders. We're using the biceps and arms to pull our leg, not our neck, and then stretch your leg out. Hold it there. Reaching with lots of energy in that bottom leg. And now let's switch. Hold on to the other leg. Reach the other leg out. Try to get your knee nice and straight. Good, that's it. Breathe, hugging this knee in really close. And both feet to the mat. Now, lifting your legs to a tabletop. Stretch your legs up, hold your hamstrings for support. Try to straighten your legs and flex your feet. back of the legs can get really tight, all the way from your heel to your glute. We'll do a few stretches to really loosen up that area. Now let's bring it out to a straddle. You can continue to hold your legs for support. We want to try to feel a little stretch in the inner thigh. Keep your feet flexed, reach out to the side with your heels. Now point your toes and come back in. You got it, good. All right, let's rock it all the way up to a seated position. Let's bring the bottom of our feet together, sitting up really tall. Lengthen through your back, inhale, exhale, come over your legs, elbows to the inside of your knee to press your knees a little closer to the mat and hold this stretch. So Pilates, we work on flexibility, stability, strength, mobility in the joints, and all will help with sports. Come back up to a seated position. All right, from here, let's cross our legs and go into rotation. So we want to sit up as tall as possible. If you have a yoga block, you can sit on the yoga block. If you find that you're here, we want to lengthen first. Rib cage right over your hips. Now rotate without leaning to the side. Look as far as you can with your eyes. Hold this position. Slowly take it over to the other side, sitting up taller and taller here, not here. Rotate, look, look, look. And center. All right, let's take it all the way up. So we're gonna go to a kneeling position. I'll turn to the side. Like we did at the beginning, toes on the mat, which is already a nice stretch for your feet, important for all athletes to be flexible everywhere. Walk your hands back to a squat, heels up. Lengthen your legs as you inhale, exhale, roll your body all the way up. All right, let's go over that hinge move. Legs hip distance apart, try to get them parallel. So if you tend to turn out, see if you can get into a neutral position and feel comfortable. If not, move into a position that's comfortable for you. But this is the goal. Arms by your side, chest open. Now we're gonna hinge. So as you hinge forward, we're closing here. Glutes go straight back. If you feel the stretch in your legs, stay right there. You don't have to go any lower. Don't feel like you have to go really low to get the most out of the stretch. And then come back up. Let's do that again. So we don't want to feel anything in our back. Hinge, 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 good. Reach your arms straight back. Hold it. This will really help with movement in the posterior muscles. And then come back up. Okay, hands on your lower back. Let's send our hips a little forward and extend our back. Look up towards the ceiling, come back up. Let's do that again. Extend and come back up. All right, let's stretch the calves. Step forward, step back. Place your heel close to the mat or right into the mat. Front leg bent, you can hold a wall or a chair or just balance. Now with this stretch, you want to make sure when you first start, you're on the ball of your foot, distribute the weight nice and even so you know you're not turned out. And then press your heel into the mat and really try to straighten this leg. We want to keep the Achilles area very flexible. You know, that could be a common area for injury. Come back up onto the ball of your foot and then switch. Other foot back. So place your toes down. And this is a great way to stretch your foot as well. So my toes hit the mat first. I distribute the weight nice and even on the ball of my foot and then lower my heel. I had to move my foot in a little closer. I was too far back. Stay right here. Straighten your legs so you feel it all the way down to the lower leg. Come back up and bring it in. All right, I'm gonna turn and face you. Let's take our legs wide and we're gonna reach up and over to the side. We didn't do a whole lot with lateral flexion today, so let's stay right here for a few seconds. I have my legs turned out, but find a comfortable position for you, for your body to hold this lateral flexion. Come up. Now when we stretch, we wanna lift our shoulders. So now we're releasing these muscles and stretching these muscles. We work them the entire class. Let's get a nice stretch. I'm holding my leg for a little bit of support. Good. And center. Now from here, walk your legs in. We're gonna reach for the floor, so round your body down. Hold on to the mat, look towards the back of the room and stay right here. If you're not comfortable upside down, you can come up halfway and hold. It's up to you. Stay right here and breathe. This is the last stretch. Straighten your legs. On your next exhale, round it up. Finish in that perfect alignment. So bringing your legs in closer, shoulders relaxed, abs engaged. Try not to tuck. Stand up really tall, and let's finish with a nice deep breath. Inhale, reach, extend your upper back. Exhale, one more time, deep breath. And exhale. Thank you. Have a great weekend. Hope to see you tomorrow, maybe at 8 a.m. for chair fitness. Have a good day.